Hello everybody! The crazy football Sunday is over, so we've prepared another episode just for you. Leave a like and let's get the show on the pitch. Barcelona have initiated talks regarding Pedri's contract renewal. His current agreement expires in the summer of 2026. The midfielder wants to stay in the team. Kevin De Bruyne has scored his 100th goal for Manchester City. It took him 372 appearances to reach this milestone. At the end of the month, I'll be training with the group again, Thibaut Courtois assured. Despite recent failures and a disastrous season in the Bundesliga, Thomas Tuchel will still work at Bayern until the summer. Premier League referees are the highest-paid officials in Europe. Their salaries range from £73,191 or £105,257 to £147,258. The match fee is £116 per match, while VAR officials receive £837. I'm not the same Benzema of Real Madrid because it's not the same game, the same players. I need help on the pitch. I need a lot of things. I can't win games alone, Benzema said when asked about not scoring goals since December. Sporting will not accept offers for Victor Gyökeres that are less than his €100 million release clause. Juventus are planning to make an enticing offer to Bologna for the transfer of striker Joshua Zirkzee. Newcastle are in talks with Bournemouth's first-choice defender Lloyd Kelly, whose contract will expire in the summer. However, the player's wage demands could be an issue. Thomas Müller has become the first outfield player in Bayern's history to register 700 appearances in all competitions. Only goalkeeper Sepp Maier has been featured in more games, 709. Legendary former forward Jermaine Defoe will be appointed as Sunderland's new head coach. He is currently heading Tottenham's U18 squad. Sergio Ramos wants to stay at Sevilla, but is waiting for the club's decision. If Rojiblancos decide not to offer him a new deal, he will consider options in MLS and Saudi Arabia. We're in talks to find the new coach. Nagelsmann has been here before, it's a special situation. I trust Julian a lot, but there are also other coaches whom I trust. It's important to do the right thing, Bayern Munich sporting director Christoph Freund said. Cristiano Ronaldo is in contact with former Real Madrid captain Fernando Hierro. Al Nassr are considering Hierro for the club's sporting director post, with Cristiano acting as the intermediary. Real Madrid are keeping tabs on 18-year-old Levante and Spain U19 striker Carlos Espí. PSG head coach Luis Enrique changed his entire starting lineup for the match against Clermont, especially compared to the Coupe de France fixture against Rennes. This happened for the first time in the Schicks era. I have no doubt and I love to be here. This is a challenge. The results are not always going in the right direction, but I'm sure we will get there, where we want to be, Erik ten Hag states. Bayer Leverkusen's Xabi Alonso has equaled Pep Guardiola's Bayern record of 28 Bundesliga matches with no defeats in a row achieved back in 2015-16 campaign. Everton won a Premier League game for the first time since December 16th last year, against Burnley 1-0. Juventus are joining the race for Brighton head coach Roberto De Zerbi. AC Milan won 7 matches in all competitions in a row for the first time since 2006. Borussia Dortmund fans staged a fascinating choreo to celebrate 50 years of Westfalenstadion. Chris Smalling is suing his wealth managers for £750,000 after claiming they failed to tell him about fees and charges that could have cost £97.7 million. Real Madrid central midfielder Dani Ceballos is set to leave the club soon. Atletico Madrid is among contenders for his services. Atletico Madrid are considering a move for Fulham attacking midfielder Andreas Pereira. Chelsea could acquire Girona's top scorer Artem Dovbyk in case they fail to reach an agreement with Victor Osimhen. Kai Havertz's strike against Brighton was the 1,000th goal to be scored in the Premier League this season. Tottenham Hotspur are showing interest in Leicester City's key central midfielder Kieran Dewsbury-Hall. His price could reach £25 million. Bayern have lost to a Bundesliga debutant side for the first time since 2000. It was also the first time since the 2011-2012 season that they lost more than 5 games in a single Bundesliga campaign. Kevin De Bruyne delivered his 17th assist for Erling Haaland in the Premier League. This marks the highest number of goal involvements between the two players since the beginning of last season. Wolfsburg have signed Hertha's 18-year-old attacking midfielder Bence Dardai, who is the son of Paul Dardai, the head coach of the Old Lady. Prior to the penalty shootout against Wales in the Euro playoff final, Wojciech Szczesny went down to the dressing room to smoke a cigarette. He ended up winning that penalty shootout. PSG striker Bradley Barcola has recovered from his injury. He can be available for the tie against Barcelona. Let's take a look at the results of yesterday's fixtures in Europe's top 5 leagues. Bayern's disastrous run continues. The Bavarians led 2-0 in an away games versus Bundesliga debutants Hoffenheim after the first half, but they still managed to concede 2 strikes in the 50th and 51st minutes of the second half before Kleindienst brought his club to a sensational victory in the 79th minute. This means that if Bayer outplay Werder in the next matchday, they can end their long wait to be crowned German champions. Man City had a bad start to the clash against Crystal Palace, conceding a goal from Mateta in the 3rd minute. But then, accurate shots from Haaland, Rico Lewis and De Bruyne double put all questions to rest. Roberto De Zerbi's Brighton fell under Arsenal's steamroller, which tore the Seagulls apart thanks to goals from Bukayo Saka, Kai Havertz and Leandro Trossard. PSG were close to getting beaten by the biggest underdogs of the season, yet Luis Enrique's men fielded a very experimental lineup. Kylian Mbappe appeared only in the 67th minute, and in the 85th minute, his pass to Gonzalo Ramos saved PSG from defeat. After the final whistle, Mbappe seemed to have a not-so-pleasant conversation with the head coach. Athletic Bilbao captured the Copa del Rey trophy for the first time since 1984. The regular time and extra times of their final against Mallorca ended in a 1-1 draw. Then the Vermilions missed twice in a penalty shootout, while Athletic were perfect at it. Kylian Mbappe's younger brother Ethan will leave PSG next summer. The club has completely stopped negotiations with Ethan on a new contract when it became clear that Kylian is moving to Real Madrid. Earlier on, Ethan was expected to follow his stellar brother, but now it looks like the La Liga leaders have abandoned this idea. However, Ethan Mbappe also has options at home and in Germany. This season, the young midfielder has made 3 appearances for the PSG senior team. Barcelona are willing to sell their talent Ansu Fati, who is currently playing on loan for Brighton this summer. Barca's sporting department has determined that the club no longer counts on Fati due to his inconsistent performances and constant injuries. Barcelona have already determined that they can offload Fati for 40 million euros. The Catalans are also considering a loan option. Nevertheless, Brighton have no intention of buying out Fati's contract as they are unhappy with the way he's been performing in the club. Ansu has made only 16 Premier League appearances this season, scoring 2 goals. Despite Joan Laporta's attempts to convince Xavi to stay at the club for another season, the Barcelona head coach is still adamant about his decision. Xavi has made it clear to the club that if Blaugrana bosses want to keep him, they need to fulfill his demands. Xavi's main demand is about having a clear long-term plan for the squad. The Spanish manager wants to make sure that they will not sell players who are key to building his team's game because of financial problems. He also wants to be sure that Barcelona will bolster the squad with the players he will ask for, since he was extremely dissatisfied with the club's performance in the transfer market last summer. Mirko Barisic, the president of Dinamo Zagreb, has recorded a video in which he invited the legendary Luka Modric to join his club. In the video, Barisic sits with an issue of Marca newspaper, opens the page with Modric's photo and says, "Join us. It makes sense, all the possible sense in the world." Modric is a graduate of Dinamo Zagreb's academy. He performed for Dinamo Zagreb from 2005 to 2008. On the other hand, Marca reports that Modric has not yet made a decision about his future. He is currently considering options with Dinamo Zagreb, MLS and Saudi Arabia. But it cannot be ruled out that the legendary midfielder will stay at Real Madrid. Lionel Messi may move on to club management after his retirement from professional football. The legendary Argentine could become a co-owner of Inter Miami along with David Beckham. Part of the agreement between Jorge Mas, the club's majority shareholder, and Messi was the possibility of becoming a co-owner of the club without the need to purchase its shares. Beckham had a similar clause when moving from Madrid to the Los Angeles Galaxy back in 2007. However, Messi's option instead gives him outright ownership of Inter Miami only. Guys, that's it for today. Check out the suggested videos from our other projects. The Football News channel was with you. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye-bye.